Hey guys, Jerry Green here. I want to share something with you that will make a huge difference in your real estate investment business here. And one of the things I want to share with you is a little thing I call pictures are worth $100,000 minimum. Okay? Pictures are worth at least $100,000. And what do I mean by that? Well, here's what I look at. Basically, a lot of you are going out to look at these properties, or if you're doing it virtually, like we do, you're sending somebody else out there to look at these properties. And when they're looking at the properties, one of the things that they're doing, or if you're doing it yourself, you're taking pictures of these properties. And typically, most people are doing it by taking a picture, by using a phone, okay? And there's nothing wrong with that, but the thing is, if you're doing this in person, I highly recommend that you use a tablet versus a phone, okay? So just bear with me on this. Now, if you're doing it virtually, you can apply the same thing, but you don't necessarily have to have the tablet. So basically, what I've learned is, over the years of doing this, is when you're using photos, and most people use them just for a reference point to figure out, hey, this needs to be done, or for marketing. But what I do is I use the photos to help negotiate a better deal with the seller. You'll use them with a buyer, that is, to sell them a property. But why can't we use them with a seller to get a better deal? And my thinking is this, okay, is a lot of people become basically numb to their own environments. So you have somebody that maybe he lives in a property, or it could be even just a rental property. And what happens is, if they're in the position where they've been to that property before, multiple times, or they live there, what happens is all these things that need done to the property, such as different repairs, deferred maintenance items, and things like that, it really just starts to become to the point where it just goes to the back of their mind. They don't even think about it. And if you think about this too, especially for some of you guys, you get your honey-do list and you guys push that back in your mind. Well, guess what? Other people do this too. So remember, we're just like any other type of seller out there. So we do the same thing. So what happens is we start pushing this stuff to the back of our mind. So what happens is it's not in the front of our minds, and we are not aware of this. When we're not aware of this, then we just forget about these things need to be done. So what happens is, when you work the sales process correctly, and you turn around and you use like a tablet to go through and take pictures, if you're with the seller, or again, if you're not with the seller, you don't have to have a tablet, but what you do is you use those photos and you present them to the seller. And when you do that, you present those to the seller, where you're taking them through a journey and you're sharing with them all these photos. And when you share with them all these photos, what happens is it starts turning the light bulb on in their mind and saying, oh, wow, I didn't realize it needed that much. And you do zoom ins on things. And then you comment on things too, such as maybe a furnace, even though it works, you might comment that it's at the end of its life cycle because of the age on things. So guys, this is just a little tip here that will make you at least an extra $100,000 a year, simply by using photos to get you to that point. So if you're not using them properly, you're missing out on opportunity. They're not just for you, they're for the seller to see about all the things that they have forgotten about, okay? So use this. It's a huge thing that I've made a lot of money on over the years. Talk to you later.